Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit asbgold.com. That's asbgold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. Well, what the heck is going on? With us today is Roger Stone, who is a WABC host, and he's on syndicated around the whole country, and he's on every day, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock. And also Sundays at between 3 and 5. Well, Roger, what the heck is going on?
You know, John, today I want to take a look at the whole role of assassination in American politics, because there's been far too much of it for what's supposed to be a civilized country. I mean, just in our lifetimes, an attempt on the life of President Harry Truman by Puerto Rican nationalists, obviously the brutal murder of John F. Kennedy in the streets of Dallas in 1963, attempt on the life of Gerald Ford by followers of Charles Manson, a little publicized but very real attempt on the life of President Richard Nixon in Miami Beach, according to FBI agent Jerry Hemmings, 3 attempts on the life of Donald Trump, for which I still don't think we have all of the answers. And then I just want to understand how what we all saw unfold at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last Saturday night, how that could possibly happen. I love the president. I think he takes too many risks. I'm going to be focusing on it in the show today.
Now, the big thing is, I don't know who loves the president more, me or you, but let's call it equal. And I worry about him, and I said that to him. And the fact is, those 3 attempted assassinations, I don't know what the truth is. And I don't think the American people know what the truth is. And I'm worried about our intelligence agencies doing the right job and Secret Service doing the right job. And look, I believe that 99% of our intelligence agencies and our Secret Service and the FBI, 99%, they're great people. But we got to worry about that 1% too.
I couldn't agree with you more, John. I mean, after the near-miss events of Butler, Pennsylvania, where but for a millisecond of an inch, the president would no longer be with us, he fired the head of the Secret Service. I agree with that. But then he elevated an agent who was in his personal detail, who I'm sure is a great guy and an honest guy, but I don't know that he was up to the larger job of running the whole agency. Of course, the president loves golf. That is his relaxation. But starting in Butler, the Secret Service told him not to go out on a golf course. Of course, he did again in West Palm Beach, and there was yet another attempt on his life. Yesterday, he showed up at the PGA in Doral, but again, I don't think he could go out on the course. This is his relaxation. He's a scratch golfer. Of course, he doesn't tell you that before he lays down the bets. But, it's a very real concern. I mean, this guy is bringing fundamental change to the country. And I do believe there is a deep state. I do believe, as Dwight Eisenhower called them, the military-industrial complex. That's the kind of like the permanent government that they're there. Presidents come, presidents go, but these unelected bureaucrats and those in the think tanks, those in the defense contractors, they have immense power, and Donald Trump is bringing very real reform that they object to.
Well, I agree with you 110%, and there's a lot of information that I know, and some of my intelligence people that I know very well tell me that they're worried if this is a legitimate attempted assassinations, that next time they may send professionals in versus non-professionals, so that nobody gets, in other words, that nobody interprets it as a real assassination.
I agree with that. There is no better argument for the White House ballroom, where you would have had a very tight control on who got in and who got out, a very tight control on on the entire event. I guess three things upset me here. One, that the security was so lax. Two, watching all those reporters before they left the ballroom grabbing up the expensive bottles of wine. And three, the most outrageous of all, and that is there are many, many, many people on social media who say that this whole thing was faked, that it was a false flag that was designed to distract from the war in Iran. Some of them even say that I was behind it. I find that really, really offensive.
I think that's a sickness among, I spoke to many people very high up in the Democratic Party from the old days, if you know, I'm not going to mention names, that the common sense has to come back to the Democratic Party, and they have to get rid of the socialists or the extremists in the Democratic Party.
Could not agree more. The party of John F. Kennedy and Harry Truman, the president who was essentially the founder of the State of Israel, that Democrat Party no longer exists. Their party is incapable of producing a moderate nominee, incapable of it.
I agree with you. Now, the other thing that worries me is the disappearance of all these scientists and the disappearance of that two-star general right after he had communications with the president on the president wanting disclosure to UFOs. That is a very, very hot subject. I know more about it than I should know myself. And the fact is, I think during his President Trump 45, they never told him about it because it didn't seem like they told him about it. Now, I'm really worried about that deep state or the so-called men in black that really think they run our government.
I think you have a very legitimate concern. Look, President Nixon told me firsthand that he believed that there were UFOs, that he believed that there was, extraterrestrial life out there. And we know, of course, the very famous story in which he took Jackie Gleason after they had a couple cocktails out to a government facility out there in, I think it was in Pembroke Pines, Florida, to show him some examples of it. So I've thought for a long time there's more to this than the American people are being told. And the disappearance of these scientists, I really hope they're investigating that because it cannot possibly be just a coincidence.
Roger Stone, I'll be listening to you like I do every Sunday between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and I look forward to your conversation. I look forward to having more conversations amongst ourselves. God bless you, and God bless America, and God protect the President of the United States.
Well, John, I'm grateful to be on the most powerful, influential radio station in America today, 77 WABC.
Thank you so much.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.